Next, you'll need to get your buffer out. They can either be air or electric. This is maybe different than a grinder though. If you buy one, make sure that it is variable. You don't want this to go real high speed. This is variable from 1,000 to 18. It goes all the way up to 3,000. You certainly wouldn't want to, polish it at that high. So make sure that it does have the variable where it goes down. 3M makes a quick connect here. You can just put the different polishing pads on. The first we're going to start out with is a wool pad.
Well, what's the setting on the polish?
You want to go about 12 RPM. Use this. Who said it was pretty new. They used to have them that was built like this. And you just stick this on a Velcro thing. It's kind of a new system. When you're using this, you need to keep this clean. And when you're using the wool pad, they have this spur that you can keep this clean with. Of course, this is a new one, but as you use it, you want to be sure. Rub that, keep it clean. So we'll set this about 1,200 RPM. We're going to start out with the number 1, which uses this white wool pad, and we'll just put a little bit on the surface. Let me clean that off first. Another thing you want to do, like we talked about when painting, you might want to put this cord behind you, because especially if you're working on a car that's attached, you don't want to be dragging the cord and stuff across the fenders and stuff like that. This kind of keeps it out of the way. So you want to rub that in, because this stuff will sling, so you might watch out. And this will prevent as much sling as possible. So kind of rub it in where you're going to go at. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give medium pressure. I'm going to push down a little bit. I'm going to go this way. I'm going to cross it. And then I'm going to do that with lighter pressure. I'm going to keep it pretty flat on the surface also. You also want to be careful on your edges, not to buff on your edges too hard. A lot of times what you can do is tape your edges so that you don't burn through. Because if it's going to burn through somewhere, it's going to be on an edge, so you have to be careful of that. So we're done with that one. Now we're going to move to the next pad, which is, where is that? And we have the number 2 for this step. This helps polish it to bring the gloss back. And remember, this new polish is from 3M. It works a little bit different than they traditionally do. It's not done with abrasions or anything like that. It chemically polishes it, so you don't have to polish quite as hard. But you want to be sure to use that 3,000 so that it does part of that polishing for you. Again, you want to give pretty good medium pressure. Go both directions. And now light pressure. Basically, just the weight of the machine's all I'm doing now. And for lighter colors, that's basically all you do. If you're working with darker colors, you're going to have more of a problem with swirl marks. They do make a number 3 and a different pad that you'd use for that as well. It'd be this color here. But for white or lighter colors, you really don't have to use the number 3. So basically what you would do, and you'd probably sand your whole panel at one time and do it all at one. I was just doing this one spot for example so that y'all can start working on these. But
Looks good.
there's still a little piece of dirt there I didn't get out, but for the most part, you can tell that it looks a lot, has its full gloss back. Everything's leveled. You can't see any dirt, trash, orange peel or anything like that. What's that?
You see it kind of looks like an outside.
Orange peel is just, where you can kind of see that bumpy look. It's not trash, but it's a little bit bumpy. Dry is like right here. It just looks like it's not glossy. It just looks a little bit fuzzy or whatever. And of course, dirt just bumps in it. So, and again, these are just test panels that the students are doing. These are not actual, parts that's going to go in a car. This is just for learning purposes. But